Welcome to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and today we are headed to Washington, D.C. to meet with Claudio Tanca of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Welcome, Claudio.
Hi, Christina. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
And what an amazing organization. You've been around for 25 years. Please tell our viewers about what you do and the impact that you're having on our children.
So, we are the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. It's a leading advocacy organization. And what we do, we work to reduce tobacco use and the deadly consequences of tobacco use in the United States and all over the world. What we do at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids is to leverage communications and advocacy campaigns to promote the adoption of science-based measures, particularly the provisions of an international treaty, the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. And these measures are very effective at reducing tobacco consumption and saving lives.
And it's fascinating. I grew up in the 80s and we all smoked. That's what we did. It was on TV, they had commercials, and a lot has happened since then in just getting it out of our everyday life. So can you talk a little bit about what you've done over the last 25 years to make it not as cool as it was, when I was growing up?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. What we have done for the last 25 years is to help to denormalize tobacco consumption and in particularly smoking. And what we did is to persuade governments in the United States as well as in other countries in the world to pass, approve, and then implement tobacco control provisions, again, which are based on science and are also based on this international treaty that many countries signed. And so by implementing those measures, governments were able and are able now to reduce tobacco consumption and, of course, all the consequences that come with tobacco consumption, diseases, terrible diseases, and then loss of productivity for people because they got sick, then a terrible cost on the healthcare system of countries. And this is particularly true in countries where there is a huge prevalence of smoking, like, for example, countries in middle income and developing countries. And then what we did um, worked, because if you look at consumption as well as prevalence of smoking in everywhere in the world where we work, it's going down. And this is a trend that has been particularly true in the last 10, 15 years. And we are very proud of what we accomplished.
Congratulations on that. And one thing that really caught me on your website, and you were talking about long-term health impacts, is COVID. And we know that COVID affects our lungs. So what are you doing now? And I know the numbers are staggering how many of us have had COVID, but with smoking related to COVID illness.
Yes, absolutely. So COVID is a disease that compromise your ability to breathe, and smoking is another cause of health problems. Particularly, it affects your lung. So everything that you do that compromise your lungs will make you more susceptible to get COVID. And then because your lungs are already damaged because of smoking, then chances are that COVID will affect your body and cause severe illness and sometimes death. Now, let me say something about COVID. So we know it was a terrible disease. It was a pandemic that caused death and diseases all over the world. Let me tell you that the tobacco industry, big tobacco, took advantage of COVID to sell its deadly products and addict more people, in particularly youth, during COVID.
Oh, and it's a horrible situation, and I thank you for what you're doing, Claudio. Thank you for coming today and sharing what you're doing to help the kids to get them off tobacco. We do know now the dangers of it. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Christina, for this opportunity. And I encourage people, if they have time and they want to learn more about the Tobacco Free Kids, to log on in an internet www.tobaccofreekids.org. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And you can also learn more about the organization at Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and I'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.